Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to sift through the noise, get right to the core. And today, our deep dive is looking at something that's really been, well, making waves in 2025. A tool called n8n. You might have heard of it. On the surface, it sounds, like the absolute dream for anyone into automation.
Yeah, if you're in that workflow automation space, the name 8AN was probably popped up quite a bit.
Exactly. It's this platform promising to, totally change how we build these advanced AI-powered systems. But like with anything shiny and new, there's always more going on underneath that initial hype, isn't there?
Always.
So, our mission today. Go past that surface excitement. Let's unpack the whole story. The potential is huge, yeah. But we also need to talk about the hitting challenges, the industry stuff, the technical headaches, things that often get sort of glossed over. We want to give you a really raw, unfiltered look at what AI automation, especially using n8n, actually looks like today.
And it's a really important conversation to have. What's so interesting is how quickly n8n has risen. It offers this vision of a whole new era for automation. But as we dig in, we've got to balance that incredible promise against the complexities, the things you don't see right away.
Yeah.
So at its heart, n8n is open source. It uses this visual node-based system.
Right, like building with digital blocks.
Exactly. You connect these different function blocks, like drawing a flowchart, to build out your automation. And it's really known for integrating strongly with AI. That's kind of its angle, positioning itself as a key player there. But, the journey from that big promise to actually using it effectively day to day, that's where things get interesting.
Okay, you've set that up perfectly. Let's peel back that first layer then. Why does n8n seem like such a dream initially? We're talking about potentially building AI agents that can remember things, learn, even browse the web, and doing it with more control, maybe lower costs, compared to the big names like Zapier or Make. That's a massive draw, right?
It absolutely is.
When you put n8n next to those established players, the cost benefits, because it's open source, they really stand out. Plus, the customization options are vast, and the self-hosting capability.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, for data privacy, that's a really big deal, especially if you're handling sensitive info.
Definitely.
And it feels like it's moving beyond just simple task automation.
Yeah.
And n8n is kind of emerging as this foundational tool, for building genuinely complex AI agents, ones with proper workflow management, memory so they remember context, even the ability to search the internet for current data.
Imagine an agent that can go find information, process it, and then act based on what's happening now.
It's easy to see why people are getting excited.
And that appeal is incredibly strong because it hits right where the market is looking. More flexibility, more power, and, better cost effectiveness in automation. The open source nature helps too. It builds a community that pushes things forward, creates new customizations.
Yeah.
But stepping back a bit, looking at the bigger picture, while that vision of super smart AI agents is really compelling, the reality for a lot of users, it involves a pretty steep learning curve and some unique technical hurdles.
Ah, okay.
It kind of reveals something important about these bleeding-edge open source tools. They promise revolution, but they often demand that the user basically becomes a developer. You end up navigating this, somewhat immature system, maybe with quite a bit of technical debt hidden away.
Right.
So begs the question, is n8n's fast growth maybe masking a tool that, it's innovative, but is it still just too complex for widespread practical use by, say, the average business user?
That's a really critical point. And it leads us straight into the side of n8n that doesn't get talked about as much, doesn't it? Because if you actually dig into the community forums, look at user feedback, you start seeing these real frustrations, these technical problems that kind of get swept under the rug in the initial excitement. And we're not talking small things. Users point to specific flaws, like workflows can get incredibly complicated really fast. Someone described it as digital spaghetti sprawling across the screen.
I've seen that comparison, yeah.
Then there's the lack of crucial type checking. Anyone who's debugged code knows how vital that is for catching errors before you run something.
Oh, absolutely. A huge time saver when you have it.
And debugging itself in n8n, people say it's tough, really frustrating, especially when you have workflows inside workflows, these nested ones. A tiny problem in one small part can just break the whole complex thing.
Exactly. You hear these stories, almost legendary in the community forums, right? Developers spending like a whole weekend just wrestling with what seemed like a simple nested workflow, only to find some tiny undocumented quirk or incompatibility that just sent them right back to the beginning.
Wow.
It's less a learning curve and more like climbing a technical Everest for some people. And the problems don't stop there. Our sources also point to hidden issues, Performance bottlenecks, for instance. Things slowing down, even with moderately complex flows, inefficient ways of doing loops that can eat up system resources.
Oh,
And surprisingly patchy or just plain poor documentation in places, which gets missed in those glowing five-star reviews.
right.
So all these technical complaints, they paint a picture suggesting that n8n, well, maybe super cutting edge in what it tries to do, it's still a long way from being user-friendly or foolproof right now. That promise of building complex AI agents, it's huge.
Yeah.
But actually doing it demands serious technical skill and a willingness to battle through, well, some significant operational quirks.
I can definitely see how that would be a major hurdle.
Yeah.
So, given that complexity, how does that play into its AI capabilities? Because that's where the n8n discussion gets really fascinating, doesn't it? It hooks up with the big AI players, OpenAI, LangChain, promising to inject real intelligence into our automations.
Right.
The core idea is moving past simple, static rules. We're talking workflows that actually have memory, so agents remember context, learning capabilities, so they adapt, dynamic decision-making, making them aware of the situation, and truly flexible.
Like smart workflows, yeah.
Yeah.
That learn from what happened before, remember stuff,
Yeah.
change their responses based on real-time info.
Exactly. That's the vision driving the excitement for the next generation of AI agents, having a system that genuinely understands and responds intelligently.
It is a powerful vision, no doubt. But it does raise a really important question for anyone using it. How much of this is actual, like, emergent AI? And how much is just really sophisticated automation dressed up as intelligence?
The smoke and mirrors argument.
Precisely. The counter-narrative from some critics is pretty blunt. They argue many AI-enhanced workflows are just really complex pipelines.
Yeah.
They do complicated things, sure, but lack what you might call genuine adaptive intelligence. It's clever engineering, perhaps, but not true thinking.
Okay.
And one specific thing that seems particularly revealing and a source of user frustration is a limitation around multi-agent AI.
Right.
Reportedly, n8n lacks true built-in memory sharing between different AI agents.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if your dream is this sophisticated collaboration where multiple agents learn from each other, share knowledge seamlessly, build a collective brain, it apparently still takes a lot of manual work. You're basically having to hack together custom solutions to make them share memory, rather than it being a native feature.
So these advanced AI agents we hear about, they're not exactly off-the-shelf plug-and-play solutions then.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Sounds like they demand significant setup expertise just to get close to that intelligent behavior.
Right.
They aren't just tools where you drop in an AI node and suddenly get magic intelligence. You need serious setup skills, a deep grasp of how to engineer these complex systems to simulate intelligence. It's a really critical distinction for users. The difference between true emergent AI, which is frankly still evolving everywhere, and a very capable automation tool that you can meticulously configure to get impressive, intelligent-seeming results.
That makes sense.
The real challenge lies in designing the workflows correctly, giving the large language models, the LLMs, enough context and feedback loops so they can actually perform well. Without that careful construction, these intelligent agents can become brittle. They might make weird decisions or just fail completely if something unexpected happens.
So it relies heavily on the human designing it.
Exactly. It shows the power of the underlying AI models, yes. But it's also a stark reminder that the orchestration layer, n8n, in this case, needs human smarts and real diligence to bridge that gap between basic automation and true intelligence. And this makes those debugging challenges we talked about even more critical. A subtle mistake in setup could cause cascading failures in what's supposed to be a smart system.
That distinction is absolutely crucial, separating the real capability from maybe the perceived magic. It means unlocking the full potential requires you to be really deep in the weeds of the architecture, not just liking the high-level idea. So connecting this back, what does all this complexity and nuance mean for platforms like n8n in the bigger picture? They're sitting right at this intersection of automation and quite advanced AI.
Well, it suggests that their future development really hinges on tackling these core technical challenges head-on. The innovation in AI integration, undeniable.
Yeah.
But the practical hurdles, making it robust, scalable, genuinely intuitive for more people, those are paramount.
So fixing the complexity of the debugging, the interagent communication.
Exactly. Those aren't just nice-to-have features. They're essential if anyone wants to move from being this powerful but maybe niche developer tool to a truly accessible platform for building sophisticated AI automation that works reliably. Without those improvements, that smoke and mirrors argument, it gains more ground because the effort needed to make these systems look intelligent can often outweigh the actual benefits for many organizations. It's this fascinating tension, isn't it, between bleeding-edge possibility and practical usability.
It really is a lot to unpack. It feels like we're at a key moment for tools like this. Looking forward, n8n definitely has potential, right?
Yeah.
Especially being open source, the cost factor. It could democratize these AI workflows, make them more accessible. But we absolutely have to caution you, the listener, about that steep learning curve and the technical depth needed to really make it sing. It's not a magic wand, even if it sounds like one sometimes.
Indeed. And I think we can predict more industry scrutiny coming. People will look harder at the practical side, the true capabilities of AI in these automation tools. Businesses adopting n8n or similar tools, they'll need to demand clearer documentation, better support, and crucially, a real focus on usability over just theoretical potential.
Right.
The future for tools like n8n, and really for AI in general, it depends not just on pushing the tech forward, but on a commitment to, well, transparent design, practical usability, and solid engineering. Stuff that actually helps users without creating new headaches. It's about building systems that aren't just powerful, but also reliable and manageable.
Okay, we've really gone deep today on n8n and this whole world of AI automation. Clearly, it's a powerful tool, full of promise, absolutely, but it also comes with significant complexities, real technical challenges, and some important nuances in how that AI actually gets delivered.
Yeah.
So our core takeaway for you is probably this. N8n is presented as revolutionary, huge potential, yes, but it has real flaws that demand technical skill and understanding its inner workings. And similarly, AI itself, amazing technology, but applying it in automation tools right now still involves technical hurdles you just can't ignore.
Stepping back for a moment, it really highlights how innovation always comes layered with practical reality checks. The future path for tools like n8n and AI broadly, it relies not just on the next technical breakthrough, but on a serious commitment to transparency about what it can really do, robust design, and making it genuinely usable for people.
So embrace the innovation.
Yes, embrace the innovation, absolutely. But stay vigilant. Question the hype. Look out for those hidden complexities. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. In this age of seemingly endless AI promises, how do you tell the difference between true adaptable intelligence and just cleverly designed complexity? And what role do we all play in demanding that clarity from the tools we choose to bring into our work and lives?
A really powerful question for all of us to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.